So if you haven't been in tune, today is Sunday, so y'all already know what time it is. It's a reset, it's a restructure. We are changing our mindset, y'all. So welcome to Diamond in the Rough. Of course, y'all already know what time it is. It's a reset, restructure type of day. So happy Sunday to y'all. And of course, we are leaving tonight, this evening. We are leaving light, okay? So whatever burdens you have, whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever you're carrying today, I expect for your load to be light come Monday, because this is the restart of the day. This is the reset of the week. I meant to say, forgive me, y'all. So this is a reset for the week. So listen, we is not carrying no extra baggage. We ain't carrying no burdens, no worrying and none of that, okay? So like I said, y'all already know what time it is. Today is what's the day? Diamond in the Rough day. You know what, I ain't give my Sundays no day. I ain't give my Sundays. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for my Sundays. Like, what can I call my Sundays? But anyways, y'all, so we cutting ties, okay? That's just that. That's just point blank period. So often, so many people, you know, like, they find themselves, many of us, I'm not gonna say so many people, but many of us find ourselves like wearing so many things on our shoulders because of our caring, or, you know, being empathetic and wanting to empathize with people and understand that they go through things and they may need help, you know, they, whatever the situation, whatever their circumstances may be. A lot of times we find ourselves putting ourselves in deficits because we are trying to be a helping hand all the time, when the reality is sometimes you just have to cut ties. It's so many people that try to persuade people and change their perception of them, that people have their perspective of them, right? So I feel like the problem that a lot of us have is we try to do things, we try to overextend ourselves in places where we're not even welcome. You know what I'm saying? You're overextending yourself. You're drawing yourself thin, because the reality of it all is a lot of the people that we are, you know, pouring into, or a lot of the people that you feel like you want to help because you love them so much, you know what I'm saying, a lot of them are not reciprocating the same energy, right? So often you feel like, okay, well, maybe if I give this person more, or maybe if I show this person how much I genuinely care about them, and I just go above and beyond, I exceed every expectation that they have of me. Because keeping in mind, everybody have an expectation of you. However, they also have a perception of you. So regardless of how high that expectation is or how low it is, they already have a preconceived perception of you already. And the thing is, so many of us try to go and we try to override the perception that people have of us, and they gonna have it regardless. I say this all the time. I don't care how much you do for someone. I don't care how much you give someone. I don't care how much energy you pour into someone. If they do not if they don't care for you, they're not gonna care for you regardless. So many people have to stop wasting time, energy, you know what I'm saying, and pouring into so many people, pouring into cups that's already filled. The reality of it all is these people are not gonna give it don't even matter what you're doing for them. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you can do everything for these people, and guess what? It's not gonna be enough for them. Because one thing about it, and I talk about it, I've talked about this a lot on you know, TikTok a lot. Like, the thing is, when you're dealing with people, you have to you know, put in perspective moralic views, right? And when I say moralic views is very important when it comes to dealing with people. When you're dealing with people and you know what their moralic views are, and when I say moralic views, I mean how they were brought up. You know what I'm saying? What was instilled in them? What were their principles as they were coming up in the world? You know what I'm saying? What were the things that they were taught? Because keep in mind, this is learned behavior. So often we try to look at the potential of what a person can be. We try to look at the brighter side of who they can be or who they should be, or certain things, you know what I'm saying? We just try to look at the good qualities of people, and we don't look at the reality of it all is you don't have to judge someone based off of their upbringing, but you have to keep in mind that these things lie within, right? So say I'm gonna give you an example. So we have a child that grew up in, you know, a well-rounded home, a home that was in love, and whatever the situation may be, whether it was in love, whether it was in chaos, whatever the situation may be, a lot of us tend to adopt these states of mind. So sometimes you may look at one person, you might be like, well, dang, you know what I'm saying? they're not as bad, or they don't act like this person, or they don't do this type of thing. But the apple don't fall too far from the tree. So you want to keep that in mind, not as in a judgmental state, but you always want to make sure you don't have a high expectation of someone, knowing what their moralic views are, or what they were instilled or brought up on. You know what I'm saying? So often we try to change the minds of people. We try to change the hearts of people, and you find yourself giving and putting yourself in a spiritual deficit, putting yourself in emotional deficit, putting yourself in a financial deficit, thinking that you're going to help make this person feel a different type of way about you. And this is why so many people find themselves unhappy. They find themselves selling themselves short because they give, and nobody is willing to give you and meet you halfway. And no, it's not about someone giving you what you give them. It's just the reality of it all. If you continuously giving, you're not going to have enough to have for yourself. And that's, I feel like so many of us feel like, you know, when other people be mindful, or they make sure they put themselves before they can be, because you can't be nothing for nobody if you're not nothing for yourself. So many people are the go-to people for people who they can't even go to. So many people are the ones that get called on. So many people feel like, you know what I'm saying, like they can just call and just reach out to you and ask you for everything and have a high expectation of you. But when the shoe on the other foot, you don't have that. See, I don't just necessarily pay attention to what people do. I pay attention to what they don't do. And I also pay attention to how they operate. How do you interact with me? I appreciate calls. I appreciate texts, right? But you also have to be mindful of the little things, the small things. None of us are perfect. You know what I'm saying? None of us are perfect. But the reality of it all is relationships, friendships, all these different things that happen and transpire with people, a lot of it wouldn't even happen if you paid attention to morality views. I said this before. The reason why so many people clash, the reason why so many people get into altercations, the reason why so many people come in different situations is because they did not pay attention to morality views. What you may consider flawed, or what you may consider green, might not be flawed to somebody else. What you may consider cross action to you, what you may consider cross action, somebody else might not consider cross action. It's a difference in perspectives. Once you know who you're dealing with, you know how to deal with them. So sometimes it's not that you have an issue with somebody. Sometimes it's not that you feel any type of way about somebody. But when you know that your morality views is completely different than somebody else, it's best for you to separate, because it is gonna cause tension. Because the way I view things is completely different than the way you view things. And I feel like once you start knowing who you're dealing with, you know who you're around, you know your surroundings, you know that the apple never falls too far from the tree. You know what I'm saying? We're all dealing with trauma. We're all fighting our own unknown battles. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is dealing with their own things. But if you keep morality views in mind, you will understand, okay, I already know so-and-so and so bad like this, you feel me? I already know her and her mama don't get along, you feel me? So 9 times out of 10, it's some similarities, some things that's going on up in there that they have some similarities. So, you know what I'm saying? You just got to pay attention to certain things. Some things people are not going to vocalize to you. But if you pay attention long enough, you will see what time it is. And it's not about you putting yourself on a pedestal. See, peace, protecting your peace look different from everybody. What you may consider protecting your peace may be completely different than what I consider protecting my peace, right? So protecting my peace might be shutting my phone off. Protecting my peace might be looking at my phone while it's ringing and not wanting to talk. Protecting my peace might not be going in certain environments where I feel like I'm going to have to compromise my feelings and my emotions. Protecting my peace might look like having to, you know what I'm saying, stay out of areas and environments that's going to cause me to act outside of who I'm trying to become. So everybody have a difference in protecting their peace, and it ain't for nobody else to respect your mind. It ain't for nobody else to understand what your definition of protecting your peace is, because everybody not going to understand that. But the thing is, once you get to a place where you are willing to compromise and cut off and you know what I'm saying, cut off your right hand and say your left, then you are in a place where you're going to grow. The problem is so many people want to prove how real they are, how solid they is, how much they love somebody. But one thing about it, it don't matter how much you prove it. If they don't want to believe it, if they already have a thought in their mind of how they already view you, you can't change it. You can be loyal, you can fuck with them the long way, you can do anything for them, but guess what? If they look at you in that light, guess what? It's nothing you can do to change that. The only thing you can do is make sure you're a better person for yourself. The only thing you can do is make sure you're not compromising your happiness to make someone else happy. And I feel like that's why so many of us are so stressed. Too many people are dealing with heart issues, high blood pressure. So many people are young dealing with all these issues, and it's because they are wearing so much of stuff on their shoulder because of everybody else. I'm telling you, bro, when I tell you I listen, Pastor said something and it resonated with me so good today, because he was like, you know, so many of us, we like to say we don't care as a form of being connected to not being bothered. And I say that a lot. I don't care. I don't care. I care, but I don't care enough to compromise my happiness. But what he said is to cast your cares upon him, and that's how you remain unbothered, because you don't have to care. He's going to care for you if you care. You know what I'm saying? You can care, but we can cast our cares onto him. So it's not that you're neglecting nobody, or you feel any less of or about them or anything of that nature. It's just that I'm not willing to compromise or sacrifice, not sacrifice. I'm not willing to compromise what I have going on. If I did that, do you know how low I would be? Worrying about what people don't have, worrying about what I can do to change somebody else's situation. The fact of the matter is, why do you think people talk about restructuring their mind? Why do you think people talk about retraining their mind, unlearning behavior, breaking generational curses? These are things that has to be broken off of you. The only way things are going to change is if you change how you operate. And it starts with the mind. If you are still functioning on the level of everyone else, if you're still doing the same things that everyone else is doing, you're not going to make no change. You can't do it, and it's not going to be understood by everybody else. Understand that everybody's not going to understand the way you're going about doing what you have to do to make sure you are leading a healthy lifestyle for you and yours. Everybody not going to understand that, and it ain't for everybody to understand. You ain't got to be an open book to people. You ain't got to be an open book, because guess what? Even if you was an open book, a lot of people don't even try to take the time to comprehend anything. A lot of people don't even want to know anything. A lot of people don't care to find out, you know what I'm saying, ways to change their mind, change their state. So if you feel like, if you know that these people not even willing to take the time out to do the work themselves mentally, do you think anything that you're doing is going to be of a help? It's going to be a disservice. You're doing them a disservice because they're not doing the work that is necessary to change their situation. Because if your mind is still the same, if your heart is still in the same posture, then how are you changing? Only thing you're doing is pouring into somebody that is not going to be able to withstand. That's just like giving somebody the game, but they're not going out there stepping out. I can give you the game, but if you're not willing to get out there and get the hustle and get it out, you feel me? Like, do what you need to do with it. It don't matter. I can give you all the tools, but if you don't get out there and find some work, it don't mean nothing. It's pointless. That's like you knowing having a good work ethic, but not willing to go out there and find a job. That's like you being smart, but you're not utilizing it. What sense or how effective is it being smart but not actually putting it in motion? It means nothing. I can sit up here and have an intellectual conversation with you all day, but if you are not putting it in motion, it don't mean nothing. If only thing we can do is sit here and have a conversation, but ain't nobody acting on nothing, then it's in vain. Like, we just gotta stop overindulging in stuff and bullshit and things that we know does not serve us. We have to stop indulging in people who are really not trying to come out of their situations. We have to stop giving to people who are not trying to give to themselves. Listen, when you are really serious about it, you're willing to pour into yourself. When you're really serious about it, you're not trying to look for nobody to do nothing for you. When you're trying to actually do something, or you're trying to be effective, you're trying to change, you really want to change, you know what I'm saying? You're going to stop talking about it and being about it. Cut ties with people. You can sit up here and try to tell people that, you know what I'm saying, you're going to come out of your situation. Your situation going to change. But if you don't believe that your situation going to change, guess what? It's not going to change. I can't believe it for you. I can't love you so much that you understand that your situation changed. I can't give you so much that your situation changed. That stuff gonna run out. Money runs out. Patience runs out. Anybody that is continuously giving, at some point they gonna get tired. But one thing about takers, they never get tired. So you have to put a stop to what you're giving. You know what I'm saying? You have to put a limitation on what you're giving people, because a taker gonna continuously take. Whether or not it put you in a bind or not, they're going to continuously take. Because guess what? A lot of these people already have an expectation in their mind, child, she got it. Just because you holding it up, just because you making your situation look better than what it is. Some people don't know if you're fighting a sickness or illness. Some people don't even know what you got going on. You might have an ailment in your body right now that people don't know, but you still pressing forward. People don't care about nothing that you have going on as long as you are in a position to help them. As long as you're doing what they want you to do, they don't care about nothing you got going on. So therefore, you have to care enough about yourself to put whatever on the back end, do whatever you got to do to make sure you are straight. You good. Cut ties with these people. Relationships too. If these men and these women ain't giving you what you feel like you should be receiving in return, they're not reciprocating the energy that you feel like you're deserving of, you know what to do. So many people be trying to prove they value to people that ain't even willing to prove they value to them. Who are you? If we're not willing to do it to each other, we're both not doing it. It's not it's not 50-50 where you show me how much you care and how much you're willing to go the back end, you know what I'm saying, to the bus out with me. Why should I feel like I should show you that? And so many people be sitting up here casting all their pearls to these swines. Why? It's not paying off. Just wait. Just put yourself in isolation sometimes. It's okay to be by yourself sometimes. Once you see what you gain by being in isolation, you'll realize all these people that you're around, they didn't mean you no good anyways. It's okay. And one thing about it, if a person don't like you, guess what? The only thing you got to do is not do what they want you to do when they're going to show their true colors. If you are not doing what someone feel like you should be doing for them, they're going to always show their hand. If they never really mess with you from the beginning. All it takes is for you not to do something that they don't want you to, that they wanted you to do. Yeah, they don't care what they'll never care about what you have going on. But you have to care about it. And I say that all the time. Talk about me all you want to. Feel how you feel about me all I want to. Guess what? That ain't gonna stop. That ain't gonna make me pick up my phone when I don't feel like talking. Feel how you feel, bro. If I got it, I got it. If I don't, I don't. Guess what? I'm not finna sit up here and worm myself dry, drive myself crazy mentally, knowing that I got my own problems, I got my own issues, I got my own burdens I have to bear, worried about how somebody else gonna feel about whether or not I'm able to come through for them. And the moment you do something, the very same people, you gotta understand who you dealing with. If you know these people was never in your life and these people never poured into you in no kind of way, what loss are you really suffering from? What is a loss? How can you feel some type of way, or how can you grieve something that you never had? If you never had it, then how can you feel some type of way about it? We have to start understanding. We have to start putting people in categories and placing them in a priority in our lives. And it's not, like I said, it's not that you don't care anything about them, but you have to understand, if only thing you're doing is giving, then who's reaping the benefit at the end of the day? And that's what you need to ask yourself about these people that you're around, these people that you're continuously pouring into, these people that continuously call you, the people that you continuously give, or the people that you continuously give your energy. It don't even have to be finances. Sometimes I just don't even want to be bothered with your energy. When your energy is too dark, I don't want to deal with it. When your energy is too warped, I don't want to deal with it. If I feel like it's a bunch of confusion when I come around you, I don't want to be around you. I'm trying to get in a place where I'm trying to restructure my mind. And if only thing I'm around is dark spirits, dark entities, I don't want to be around it. And the sad part about it is you can still be in your own lane and them people still try to find a way to get around you, to put that negative energy around you. That's what the enemy do. But you have to make sure you have your armor and you have your guard up, bro. Because one thing about it, the dark does not like the light. And whenever they come in contact, one gonna flee. And it ain't gonna be the light. You gonna leave. The darkness gonna leave off rip. One thing about it. But the thing about it is, people will stay in your lane. They will drain your energy. They will drain your finances. They will drain all your faith. They will drain everything from you, and they'll leave you dry if you let them. So you have to make sure you have the restraint to stop giving so much. Stop giving so much. It's okay. They're going to feel how they feel about you anyways. I'm here to tell you. If they don't like you, they ain't going to like you anyways. They're not going to like you regardless. So who cares? Cut ties with these people. Cut them off. Cut them off. If only thing they talk about is negativity, they can't call you to say, oh, I saw your podcast, baby. Keep pushing, keep thriving, keep striving for better. But the moment some mess pop off, or you got something negative to talk about, anything you got something negative to talk about, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get about 30 calls. Oh, guess what? Did you see so-and-so and so? Girl, you ain't hear about so-and-so and so. Girl, I did. I pray that they get through whatever they going through. See, because I had to learn about how I put my mouth on people. I done put my mouth on people, and baby, one thing about it, it'll come full circle. So I be mindful of what I say. Now, I might say something, I might indulge, but I don't overindulge. I might engage, but I don't over-engage in stuff that I know does not serve me. If it's a disservice, if I know that only thing you got to call me, girl, you ain't even call me and say, well, you know, what is it that I could possibly help you with? If all it is negativity, guess what? It's gonna be very short with me, and you gonna know that it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. I'm gonna keep it very short with you, because before I respond differently and I be very blunt with it. They ain't like, what you hit me up about this, you know what I'm saying? I don't be on that no more, bro. I'm not feeding into nothing that ain't finna drive me in a better position. I'm telling you, when you cut ties with people, it's up from there. See, the thing is, the reason why so many people cannot elevate is because they can't separate themselves from the people who they love. Sometimes it's going to hurt the worst. Sometimes it's going to be the ones that you closest to that you got to disconnect from. But so many people not willing to sacrifice that. But baby, if you sacrifice it, guess what? Whatever you lost, he going to give you back that and more. Stop holding on to people that's placeholders. Placeholders not just in relationships. Placeholders is in friendships, cousinships, auntyships, sisterships. Placeholders is all around the board. And so many people are keeping these people in places, which is causing them to stagnate themselves. Y'all better stop holding on to this dead weight. The main people that don't even want to see you elevate. The very same people that you do for that don't even look, that will turn a blind eye to what you got going on. Y'all better stop holding on to people who ain't gonna give you nothing. If anything ever went left with you, do you think they gonna look at you twice? Child, please, they gonna walk right past you. You gotta start being willing and looking at the people. Make sure you get even with the ones who do you right. Make sure you're getting even with the ones who think about you. Make sure you're getting even with the ones who take a little bit of time, the small things, to show you that I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Not because you feel like if I'm connected to you, then it's for a reason. You have an ulterior motive. Get even with the ones who do it just because they genuinely love you. Get even with them ones, not the ones who you know in the back of their mind, okay, let me stay close because I already see it's a breakthrough on the other side. See, sometimes people see your breakthrough before you see through. You see it because you be so busy in the chaos because you trying to operate before the opposition come, or you feel the opposition coming and you so busy trying to operate in the turmoil and everything that's in your life. But people don't see the turmoil that you fighting through. People don't see the opposition that you facing. People don't see nothing that you're going through. Only thing they see is the glory that's on your life. They see the favor that's on your life. They see the anointing that's on your life, and they feel like you don't have nothing going on. So what they do, they try to stay connected to you because they see something other than what you see. See, you got your eyes on the prize. They see what you don't see. They already feel like you accomplished. In their mind, they feel like you accomplished. And in our mind, we like, no, I'm nowhere near where I'm trying to get at. I'm nowhere near where God promised me I'm going to go. I'm nowhere near. God ain't even took me nowhere near the heights that he said he going to take me. So if you mad now, if you ain't doing nothing now, if you trying to stay connected now, imagine what he fixing to do in my life. Y'all better start dropping that dead weight. If you're really trying to elevate, boy, you better start cutting these people off, boy. Like, you better stop worrying about how nobody feel about you. If you really trying to elevate, you can't worry about how nobody feel about you. If ain't nobody pouring into you, y'all better cut these people off. If ain't nobody doing the little things that lets you know, because it ain't always the big things that people do. It ain't always finances. It ain't always, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing the small things, then I pay attention to the small things that people don't do. You know, they say you should pay attention to the things. You should just acknowledge the things, the good things people do, yes. But that don't mean you got to negate the fact that people ain't doing the small things that they could be doing. Seriously, pay attention to those people, and that'll change your whole perspective about people. Pay attention to how people view principles. What are your principles? What you consider flawed? What you consider somebody that is, you know what I'm saying, that is not in your corner? What do you consider somebody what do you consider being cross? You got to pay attention to all these things before you start connecting to these people, because then you wonder why all these different attributes and all these different things start coming out of these people. If you would have paid attention from the beginning, you would have already knew it was there from the jump. Listen to what people talk about. Listen to how people watch, how people carry themselves. Watch what type of level of integrity that people walk with. Do you have integrity? How do you carry yourself? What do you consider respect? What do you consider self-respect? You feel me? And that'll tell you a lot about people, and that'll let you know whether or not you want to be around them. Because one thing about it, what your views is gonna say a lot. You're not gonna be married to somebody who religious and y'all have a difference in religious. You ain't gonna be married to somebody that feel like they want to be in polygamy relationship and a monogamous relationship, are you? So therefore you gotta make sure you are on one accord with these people. This is where all the pressure, that's where all the pressure lie at, because you don't know who you dealing with. It takes time to get to know people, but you also have to analyze people too. And a lot of times we come off as arrogant, or we come off as better than people because we analyze people, and once we see you for who you is, we disconnect. No, it ain't no pressure with you. You just ain't my cup of tea. And it's okay, because I know I ain't a lot of people cup of tea. Whether I'm sweet or unsweet, I ain't everybody cup of tea. And that's cool with me. I'm fine with that. That's your perspective, like feel how you feel about me. But I know where I'm trying to head at. And I don't need no roadblocks. I don't need no stumbling blocks that I put on myself. Because be clear, a lot of the stumbling blocks that we face, we put on ourselves. A lot of the things that we go through is on ourselves. Because if we saw the things that we already seen what it was before, sometimes we get signs. That's just like somebody holding up a stop sign telling you to stop, but you saying the sign went there. The sign was there, dead in your face, but you chose to ignore it. If you get pulled today and the state trooper tell you that you ran the red light, is you gonna tell him it wasn't no red light right there? He gonna look at you like you crazy. It was a red light right there. You just chose not to look at it. So be mindful of the people that you come in contact with, and take account of the people that's in your life. If they're not pushing you, if they're not pouring into you, if they're not encouraging you, if they can't give you and reciprocate the same thing that they're expecting out of you, if your expectation is a certain thing of me, if you have an expectation of me, make sure that expectation that you have of me, I can have of you. And if it's not mutual, then we don't need to be involved. It's the small things. Show me that you care. Show me that my well-being it means something to you. And showing is not what you say. Showing is what you do. Showing is not trying to be connected because you know that it's favor or you see that it's something on this person's life. No, do it because you genuinely care. And let me tell you, we know when it's genuine. You can play up under somebody all day, but one thing about it, boy, we know when it's genuine. We know when you truly have our best interest. We know when it ain't nothing more, nothing less. And we know when you're doing it with what the heart posture that you're doing it in. That's why if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it, because I want my posture to be right. And if I don't do nothing, it's because I genuinely can't do it. It ain't that I don't want to do it. It's because I genuinely can't do it. But I'm not going to do something that I don't want to do. And that's one thing about me. I don't want nobody doing nothing for me that they don't genuinely want to do. So I'm not finna do nothing for nobody that I don't genuinely want them to. You know what I'm saying? Want them to do or want to do. But just be mindful. Keep in mind who you connecting with. If the value is not there, if they don't see value in you, if they don't recognize what they have in their presence, if they don't recognize the greatness and the glory that God put on your life while you're in their presence, they can miss you in their absence. A lot of people to miss you in absence because a lot of times they don't appreciate it until you gone anyways. They don't appreciate that all that grace, all that mercy and everything that, you know what I'm saying, that favor and just the love. You know what I'm saying? Just love, just the energy. Man, energy is everything, y'all. The older I'm getting, that energy is everything. Y'all better start preserving y'all energy. And you wonder why everybody walking around here tired, always tired. We always tired. We always mentally drained. We always, you know what I'm saying, struggling to get through our obstacles and opposition. We always struggling because you too busy reaching your hand in something that God was supposed to have control in. A lot of times we get chastised for putting our business, for getting in God's business. A lot of times we be standing in the way of God trying to chastise his kids, and you getting it because you standing in the way of it. Let go and let God. Let him fight. Let him do what he's supposed to do. Let him do, you know what I'm saying? Cast all our troubles and everything onto him. Sometimes you got to do that. Because at the end of the day, we ain't God. We can't bear. We were not sick. We were not put here to bear the burdens. True enough, we can intercede. Pray for these people. Pray. Sometimes a prayer is so much better than you putting your hands in there, giving them some money. Giving them some, you know what I'm saying? Pray for these people. And it's okay. Ask them something. They call you with issues. Ask them if they want to pray on the phone. You want to pray? Do you have time for a prayer? Let's pray. Let's do that. Let's get connected. Let's reshape our mind. If we are still operating in the same state of mind, then you're not doing nothing. It's in vain. Everything is in vain. So if these people are not trying to elevate mentally, if they're not trying to restructure their mind, and if they're not willing to reciprocate the energy that you are giving, disconnect from these people. One way that you're going to stunt your growth is keeping people in your life that God meant that their expiration date has expired. If you want to hold your life up, and none of us are getting younger, we're getting older every day. If you want to continue to hold your life up, keep people in your life that God already told you to let go of. If you want to hold your blessing up, keep people in your life that God told you to relinquish. If you want to stand in the way of what your purpose is, keep people in your life that God told you to relinquish. Growth is a choice. Having is a choice. Positioning is a choice. And finding your purpose is a choice. But you won't find it if you got too many people in your life clouding your vision. Relationships, friendships, cousins, aunties, sisters, brothers. It don't matter who it is. Whoever you got to cast to the wayside, you better do it. By you and yours, you better do it. I don't know who it was for. I asked for God to purify me, and I ask for him every time to purify my heart, purify my tongue, so it does not come from me and my own thoughts and from my own personal feelings. I ask for him to work through me so that whatever it is effective in someone else's life. And I don't want it to come from my personal viewpoints, because as you know, I'm not perfect. I am a work in progress. I'm not perfect, and I want whatever I'm saying to be pure so it can shape someone else's perspective, shift someone else's perspective. So I hope that this podcast reached y'all tonight wherever you needed it at. I pray that it reached someone tonight wherever y'all needed it at. Y'all have a good day, and y'all live and let live.